Hi, join me, Pastor Dr. Mrs. Julia Noviona, your relationship coach, as I bring to you relationship and marriage solutions. When a woman is not sexually satisfied or a man is not sexually satisfied, it may cause a lot of problems in the relationship. That is the reason why you need to discuss sex. You need to have sex talk in your relationship, especially when you are going through sexual dissatisfaction in the relationship. Maybe some others may be because they desire to try something else. Maybe in your own relationship, all what you have been doing is to have one sex style, missionary, especially for us Christians, it's missionary styles. That's what the only style we know. I remember in those days in my relationship, it was only husband and wife style, daddy and mommy style. Yes, missionary style. That's the only thing we know, until we started exploring ourselves and we discovered that there are other styles that we could do that will bring satisfaction to our sex lives. Until we discussed it, I didn't know there were other styles. I didn't know. But my husband was not satisfied because it's just the woman sleeping on the ground and the man climbing. That was the only thing. And so my husband brought other styles, taught me on other styles that they need for me to have enjoyed other styles. We discussed it, and behold, I was so happy that he brought in these other styles. It could be that one of your partners is not enjoying the sex styles, and there's need to bring in other styles. Other styles, maybe standing together, or the dog style, or the man lying down, the woman on top of the woman, on top of the man. You know, so many styles. Or the woman standing, the woman bending while the man is standing. Different styles, you know. When you bring in Maggi, pepper, onions, all these condiments are things that add sweetness to your soup. Same with sex. So different styles bring sexual satisfaction. Why do you need to talk about sex? At times when you have sexual dysfunction, when there are issues with dysfunctions in the area of sex, so you need to discuss it. There's no point hiding things from one another. A problem that is opened up, you are sure of having solutions. I've heard of situations whereby the man can no longer perform again, and he'll be using excuses. When it's time for them to have sex, the man will be using all kinds of excuses. It's either he's fasting today or tomorrow he's on the mountain. For months, until the lady cried out. It was after she cried out, family came in, because as at then they were still looking for the fruit of the womb. They didn't have children, so the woman was so disturbed until family members came in. Then he was forced to go for medical checkup with the woman. That was when it was discovered that the man cannot fertilize a woman. You don't have to be secretive about it. If you have an understanding wife, there are solutions to it. You can go for adoption and so many other options. So why do you need to talk about sex? Especially when the woman is having change in her libido. There are some women that have never experienced orgasm as a result of cultural belief that their libido must be chopped off in some culture. So such women may not have the experience of orgasm, but there are some other solutions to it. you can go for medical checkup. There are some things you can do that can make you enjoy sex apart from that particular area. When there is lack of intimacy or there is lack of affection in the relationship, when whatever you do now irritates your spouse, always having queries, any little thing is to have exchange of words, then you need to discuss about sex. You know, a family that is sexually bonded together finds it difficult to quarrel. Even when they quarrel, they know that it doesn't go beyond that. By the time they are having good sex later in the day, they don't even remember the quarrels again. So you need to discuss, talk about sex, especially when you discover that there's no intimacy between husband and wife. When you don't have feelings for sex, or there is sexual rejection, and having maybe one partner is always the one asking for sex all the time, then you need to discuss sex. You need to talk it over. Please, especially in Christian homes, a lot of homes are in disarray as a result of this issue. The unbelievers, they find solutions to their sexual urge. Some of them use jacks they go for love jacks to make sure that they tie down their husbands. Some of them, they use other means, sex vibrators. But as Christians, we are not permitted to do that. And so if you are not permitted to do that, why don't you find solution to discuss the sex issues in your marriage so that the presence of God can come into the home? Believers, I beg you in the name of God, God is not interested in you carrying big Bibles about. He's not interested in you reading from Genesis to Revelation without acting on the word of God. The major problem we Christians have is not being able to act on the word. Acting on the word is real faith. Acting on the word of God, after all, how many of us have seen God? Nobody has seen God. The only way you see God is through his word. And you activate that word by applying your faith to do or practice or act on the word of God you have heard. But when you don't act on the word of God, then you are just wasting your time, making mockery of yourself, and preventing others from serving this good God. Because when they cannot see the goodness of God in your life, then why are you telling them to come and serve this your God? A lot of us, so-called Christian homes, our homes have scattered, our homes are in disarray. We are all pretending. Majority of us are hypocrites, but on Sunday we come to church, lift up holy hands, speak in tongues, but the fire is not there. Because 1 Peter 3:7 says, husband and wife, come together so that your prayers are not hindered. Prayers are being hindered because Christian couples are not spiritually knitted together. And that's why there are no miracles again. How can you deny your wife sex for 7 years? You deny your husband sex for 7 years. You are busy going to the mountain, sleeping with other people's wives on the mountain. God has judged some of us already. And woman, if you push your husband to be having sex with church members, you are judged. You are condemned already. Stop wasting your time fasting, because that fasting is not going anywhere. When you need to talk about sex, that is why you must talk about it, so that all these blockages hindering our prayers from being answered, you can have an end to it.